Gatewood. Father, will it give me any extra votes if I say the Mass in Old Latin up here? Shushitia Dominus Sacrificium. How many of you remember it? Any of you out there? Yeah. I remember it very well. I could never forget it as a 7-year altar boy, but I'm not here to get you vote like that. My name is Gatewood Galbraith. My running mate Dee Riley and I are independent candidates for governor in the year 2011. And people say, well, Galbraith, you're a perennial candidate. And I say, well, Kentucky's got perennial problems. If the people who had beaten me the first time I ran had taken care of the problems, I wouldn't have had to run again. But they didn't, and they won't, and they can't. Because let me tell you, we're living in a dysfunctional government in the state of Kentucky, folks. Frankfort is dysfunctional right now, and it's the fault of both parties. Both of them are to blame. They're like two big bull elk that have their horns locked up fighting over territory while the business of the people lays derelict in the dust. They put partisanship and parties in front of the people's interest, and that's what keeps Kentucky permanently mired in 45th, 47th, 6th, and 47th, and 48th place in all the standard living indexes. The parties are not the answer, folks. They're the problem. And independent is the answer, because as an independent, as governor, I can get up there, and I'm not in the credit blame game. I don't care who gets the credit for doing what's right for the state of Kentucky, Democrat or Republican. You do what's right, and I'll put the governor's office behind you for re-election, as long as you're doing what's right for the people of the state of Kentucky. Our economy is going down the tubes. We don't have any new money coming into the state. In 1993, Gene Strong, head of the Council for Economic Development, said publicly, I have a plan for every Kentuckian. By the year 2012, 80% of Kentuckians are going to be earning $8 an hour. That's been our official institutional job growth program in the state of Kentucky, folks. That's what your children and grandchildren have to look forward to, $8 an hour jobs. Who's going to buy the houses? Who's going to buy the cars? I suggest this. I suggest it's time that we stop thinking about higher education for just a few students and start thinking about further education for all of them. So I think every high school graduate in the state of Kentucky ought to get a $5,000 voucher for books, tuition, and fees to any institution of further learning within the state of Kentucky that will train them into employability. This is not for pizza, rent, and beer. It's for books, tuition, and fees. And it's for cosmetology school, truck driving school, woodworking, vocational training, community college, Spencerian college, anything that gives these kids some hope out here in these poor counties. These kids have no hope. They can't see beyond the high school diploma, which means they don't have to go to school anymore. We have to let them know we're concerned about them. We want to train all of our students into employability, the C and D students too. And the beautiful part about this kind of program is that not one penny gets spent until the person that we want to train makes up their mind internally they want to go get trained into employability. We're not spending a penny on them until they self-motivate themselves into wanting to be trained into employability. We have other plans too, folks. The fact is this. You cannot vote the straight party line anymore. It's a killer in Kentucky. All you folks out there beating your chest saying, I'm a yellow dog Democrat, you're the problem. You say, I've never voted Democrat before, I always vote Republican, you're the problem. And you do it again, you're going to be there again. I was walking across a street along the mental institution the other day, and I could hear people on the other side of the wall say, 13, 13, 13. And I said, well, what are they doing? I went up and put my eye up to a little hole in the wall, and somebody poked me in the eye with a stick, and as I was falling to the ground, they started chanting, 14, 14, 14. That's you all in the straight party ticket, folks, right there. We're going to change things. We're going to be honest. We're going to be transparent. We don't care who gets the credit. And you can take everything I tell you to the bank because it's absolutely true. If I was going to lie to you, I'd already been elected governor. Thank you very much.